A very good evening to you once again and welcome to our second edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV. First though, let's have a look at our top stories. In our top stories tonight, President Yoweri Museveni orders compensation of Lieutenant General Aronda's widow. Environment and Natural Resources Committee of Parliament assesses operations of plastic recycling plants in Kampala. 13 arrested, charged and remanded over embezzlement of PDM funds. And in sports, more fans win trips to watch the English Premier League live in the Guinness Matchday Extravaganza. Welcome back, and we are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcast House here on Nile Avenue. On sign language, it is Yusuf Senyamo and I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma. Now, President Yoweri Museveni has directed the Prime Minister to ensure that the widow of the late General Aronda Nyakairima is compensated to allow the residents she had evicted from a piece of land in Kyankwanzi regain their land. This was revealed by the Prime Minister Robina Nabanja at the burial of an 87-year-old Dimitria Nachanzi in Chiyuni village, Gayaza sub-county in Kyankwanzi district. The family of the late Nachanzi had been stopped from burying her body on the contested land until the presidential intervention. We begin with this story.
The affected people are from 7 villages that include Cherere East, Kiyuni, Birama, Kyakibenje, Butikiro, Dagaza, and Kiyuni Central. It is alleged that the widow of the late General Aronda Nyakairima, identified as Patricia Arinda Nyakairima, had barred the family from burying an 87-year-old Dimitria Nachanzi at their ancestral land, which prompted the president to intervene.
Ettaka lino lyatandika okutataaganyizibwa okuviira ddala ku Gideon Kibirango n'okutuusa ddala ku mulembe guno oguliwo ogwa mukyala General Aronda Nyakairima. Mu 2002 ettaka lino lyafuna okutataaganyizibwa n'okutuusa kati tewali mirembe ku bantu bano.
The president sent the Prime Minister Robina Nabanja and directed her to ensure that government pays off Mrs. Arinda Nyakairima 11 billion shillings so that the residents can regain their land.
Prime Minister w'abantu b'abulijjo, Prime Minister President n'agamba omukyala Nyakairima bamusasule era tuli mu nteekateeka gavumenti egenda kumusasula ssente ze. Wenjogerera ssaawa zino kubanga baamubalirira ettaka lye nga lirikwata biliyoni 11 ne tuba nga tetuzirina nga gavumenti biseera ebyo 2023 kati 2024 guno gwe tulimu bagenda muwako biliyoni 3 ate ziri wala nnyo. President tumwebaza abaganda ebigambo byaffe era webikoma weebale era bw'oyogerako ne tusiimye.
The affected area is estimated to be 3 square miles piece of land. The LC5 chairperson of Kyankwanzi, Dr. John Mpuga, says that the eviction of the residents greatly affects their livelihoods, leading to breakdown of families, school dropouts and food security.
Babadde nga basengula kumpi buli kyasa buli kisanja eky'emyaka 5 babadde basengula abantu nga 4 5. Tujjukira mukadde Manjeeri bya Ruwanga, omugenzi bya Ruwanga wano Bujenyi yali awo n'abalabe batu nga bagenda basengula buli kaseera mpola mpola. Naye ate kino ekya 2022 ekisukkirira ne kitujjako ebibanja byaffe byonna ne kitulekera amayumba.
Some of the evictees narrated how they were forcibly evicted from their land in 2022 and all their crops erased and only their houses were spared.
Nze nambeemu ogenda okwawabirwa ki mu kooti era nze ngamba nti n'ennyumba yange eyo banteekako magye okunzijayo emundu zaali nnya ne banzijayo waggulu eyo n'abakozi bange ne bagamba nti tewali kola ki kugizimba era awo we nakoma.
Njagala okubasuubiza nti ensonga zino pulezidenti azikolako ate zijja kuggwa. Era y'ensonga lwaki alagidde tuziike wano. Ate pulezidenti bw'alagira wali waddamu. Tugenda kuziika Dimitria wano. Ate olwaleero tuli bulungi ate n'aba naafu ekya tujja baziika wano.
Nabanja promised to invite the lands minister to resolve the matter so that sanity can prevail in the area.
Ngenda mu office mpite minister wa lands. Bwe mugamba nti Kasooli ono ali mu luggya ate wa muntu mulala.
Mazima.
Ekitegeeza temukkirizibwa kulima ku ttaka lyammwe.
Wekiri tewali akkirizibwa kulima ku kibanja.
Kanyanguye naye na bino bijja kukola ki? Mujja kuddamu mulime ku kibanja kyammwe.
Engabo nange!
It is alleged that Aronda's widow erased some of the existing graves, yet some of them have been settling on the land since 1964.
Jingo Francis reporting there. Now, members of Parliament on the Committee of Environment and Natural Resources have expressed the need for government to come up with a proper regulation on the percentage of local plastic material recycled and that imported. While on an oversight tour to different recycling plants, the committee discovered that the percentage of imported materials is more than the local picked from the environment. Take a watch.
Members of Parliament on the Committee of Environment and Natural Resources have had an oversight tour to assess the operations of plastic recycling plants in Kampala and the neighbouring districts. They were assessing compliance to the National Environment Management Act in aspects of recycling and labelling and standards, among others. During their tour, they discovered that the plants do recycle local plastic picked from the environment, but also use imported materials, explaining that if kavera or plastic paper bags are banned, then these factories are doomed.
Now our role is to find out what is the percentage of recycling and what is the percentage of the materials they import in the country.
We need to get the cost-benefit analysis, which one is cheaper, because to me what I've seen, how the raw materials from our recycled plastics are not used in bigger quantities.
Because we see in some of the industries they're importing the materials, and in some places they have basically recycled materials, and yet we are saying we want to reduce on the plastics. So I think there is need for us as a country to have a win-win. What do we have to do? To recycle or to import?
Members of Parliament say although the law provides a tax waiver for these plants to encourage recycling of plastic to protect the environment, this has not been effected.
Parliament say, how do we are able to go around the law and see what can be waived by government? Because the Ministry of Finance went ahead and levied 120%, as I told you, which is on plastic bags. And this is very expensive, so it's like they are not breaking even.
No company is waived taxes of recycling. So they are not motivated to recycle at all.
Really total ban, we can use this raw material to make other product. Which in course of that, there's income for revenue, there's employment.
The Executive Director, Uganda Plastic Manufacturers and Recyclers Association, Moses Ategeka, calls on the public and authorities responsible for cities to support solid waste management, especially sorting garbage.
Some recyclers are operating at low capacity. You may find a machine is supposed to recycle more than 10 tons, but they are receiving more than 5 tons. So we need to encourage those people who say they don't have the jobs to pick and bring and get instant payment.
The MPs visited Pipeline Foam Industries Kabanyoro, Windworld Impex in Kawanda, Luka Plastics in Kawempe and other recycling plants, and will make a report on its findings. I'm Nafka Farid and Gloria Gwetabenji.
Now, Uganda Police Force has disclosed the preliminary investigations into the misappropriation of the Parish Development Model (PDM) funds, which prompted the arrest of local council officials in Moroto, Serere and Amudat districts. The arrests follow a presidential directive to the police force to take immediate action following numerous complaints from the would-be beneficiaries of the PDM.
The arrest of the 13 local council officials from Moroto, Serere and Amudat districts follows a directive by the President to the police to take action upon complaints from beneficiaries of the Parish Development Model funds.
And those are Mr. Erulusam, the LOC3 chairperson of Kadungulu sub-county. Police also apprehended Mr. Okong Jane Smile. That then it also apprehended Mr. Oima John Michael. It also apprehended Mr. Ogwang James, the parish chief of Kabulara Parish.
Some of the parish chiefs are accused of bribery and soliciting for money in order to include locals on the PDM list.
Money was paid and those members got surprised to see their names on lists of beneficiaries, yet they never received any money. Some people and their wives got money, yet money was meant for one person per household. There was also a civil servant who benefited from the fund, whereas he was not entitled.
The suspects have been arraigned in court and remanded. They will answer to charges of bribery and misuse of public office. Meanwhile, police in Old Kampala are holding a one Otim Charles, a security guard with G4S Security Services, for robbing a bullion van that was transporting cash. It's alleged that Otim and his partner in crime, who is on the run, made away with over 1 billion shillings in cash.
Along the way, abandoned the vehicle, their 2 guns, and the vehicle, and fled with cash. An investigation started right away with the aim of recovering the cash and also arresting the suspects, and so far we managed to recover 117 million with Otim Charles.
Police also arrested over 20 individuals for the growing and consumption of marijuana in the western region of the country. After the successful crackdown, the police sounded an alarm of increased drug abuse in the country, calling for the public to help curb the vice by reporting the perpetrators.
As soon as these young men and women consume this marijuana, they attack neighborhoods, attack people moving along their ways, they attack people going to their workstations, they injure them. There are people having very, very, very serious injuries as a result of people who essentially consume these illegal substances.
Meanwhile, police have called upon parents and guardians to ensure their children who are returning home for a lengthy third-term holidays are safe. Komagum Rogers and Abdul Nasir Luwama for UBC.
Uganda National Examinations Board, UNEB, has contracted examiners to commence the marking of the just concluded primary leaving examinations. The UNEB spokesperson Jennifer Kalule indicated that the marking centers have been scaled down from the usual 20 to 13.
The marking of the primary leaving examination is to start on 30th of November 2024, and examiners that have not yet received their notice are advised to check with the UNEB Secretariat.
We shall be conducting the examination, the marking of the examination from 14 centers, that is for PLE, and we do have a total of 7,500 examiners who have been contracted to undertake the marking for PLE examination papers. Just in case there are any who have not yet received their invitations, we do urge them to come to the Secretariat and receive their invitations. Otherwise, we do expect all of them to have received their invitations.
UNEB emphasizes that candidates whose practical grading scores have not yet been submitted should cross-check with their respective schools to hand in the assessments.
So I'm expecting that all of them must have submitted all their scores. But just in case there is a school which hasn't submitted, we ask them to please come to us and we shall be able to receive their scores. In the same vein, the senior 3 candidates also had to submit their the schools had to submit scores for senior 3 students. That is the CS scores at that level. Deadline was 15th of November.
Meanwhile, police arrested the head teacher of Chitende Senior Secondary School for allegedly participating in examination malpractice.
We did arrest the head teacher of Chitende SS on allegation of damaging an examination envelope that was found cut at the top. This was for the sub-math examination papers. The suspect, a Sembatia Jimmy, was detained and later released on police bond as investigations continue.
This is the first set of examinations under the new lower secondary curriculum, where continuous assessments contribute 20% of the total marks. Komagum Rogers and Musima Promise for UBC.
The Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development has launched a 16-day campaign against gender-based violence. The campaign, launched by Mondo Chateka, the Assistant Commissioner at the Ministry, is aimed at addressing the widespread violence in families and societies. We have more in this story.
I've had cases where somebody rapes and they take this person for medical examination to find out whether he did it under the influence of being mad or he had a stable mind. And so we don't want to use that excuse, but we can't rule it out. Everybody has some level of madness, and I always advise my colleagues, never act out of anger.
The campaign against gender-based violence towards women and girls implements laws and policies like the Domestic Violence Act 2010 and the National Plan of Action for Sexual and Gender-Based Violence to protect the rights of women and girl child. Sexual reproductive health and rights is partner to the campaign.
Today we join the rest of the world in commemoration of the 16 days of activism. This is a global campaign that is celebrated widely, and the main reason why it is celebrated is to showcase and show why we need to end violence against the different people and how we can ensure that people are living safe and healthy lives. Why there is a focus on gender-based violence during this particular week is that you find if you're to have statistics, 1 in every 3 women has experienced violence or is experiencing violence or is a victim of gender-based violence.
The campaign against violence on women and girls that starts today, November 25th till December 10th is on the theme Invest and Violence Against Women and Girls.
We call upon, line ministries, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Gender and Social Development, to resurrect all of those policies, the ones that are in the works, the ones that have been approved, that were made to protect, women and girls against gender-based violence, to ensure that they are being implemented, those that have not been passed, to ensure that steps are being taken to make sure that such policies, are done.
Therefore, it is easier for us to pass on this information to our peers and have our own creation of awareness in a way, but in a space that we know we can openly talk about these things. Because when we're sharing this information, we're disseminating it. But of course, in a fun, interactive way for young people to also be able to understand, because we are peers and understand better how to communicate. Then 2, it is easier for peers to create a safe space for each other without judgment. Because half of the reasons as to why young people do not come to their parents or someone older when they face gender-based violence is because they fear they are going to be judged.
Charity Nahawe, UBC Tonight.
To the courts of law now, where the 30
it requires that you exceed all the limits of mankind and womankind. But when you play with MTN Momo, winning is easy. Simply get your phone and use the Momo app or dial *165*3#, enter merchant code, enter amount, enter your Momo PIN and pay. Congratulations, easy! Your stomach is full and now you stand a chance to win mobile money with MTN Momo.
Tuliku groundi, Blascon, paint and win. This year, Blascon paint and win. Tuliku groundi. Chicho, buy paint worth 100K. Get a scratch card, SMS the code to 71197. Stand a chance to win instant airtime, 1 million shillings bully day there, or a share of a 3 million shillings jackpot each week. What do you want the brand new podas, tuk-tuks and so much more. Catch the paint and win action every Monday on Bukede One, NBS and Sanyuka TV. Blascon, color your world.
In
the heart of Uganda, a financial revolution is happening. We were once left out, saving the old-fashioned way, with an unexpected saving spot, keeping it too close for comfort. But now, we found a better way to save and manage money. Download the Wendy app from Google Play or App Store or dial *229#. With Wendy, your money is safe and you can earn interest daily. Visit your Google Play or App Store or dial *229# to register. Wendy, Wanawoli.
Amazina ganje Ninyetekwa Seruhanga John Bosco ninduga mu district ya Rukungiri byo muhanguzi wa miliyoni 18 na Uganda National Rotary nzahangwire kurwo mu kuzana *278# ngafuna message eriko reka mu muhanguzi nashemererwa konka nabaza kugira ngo nedi y'abafere sente ziriyo zona bakaziteka ngo nazihangwire.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
There is myths that so many of you live by. If your eye is twitching, it means you're going to see someone you like. If it shines and rains at the same time, it means a leopard is giving birth. If your hand is itching, it means you're going to get money. If you see an owl, it means somebody's gonna die. If you hear of a disease outbreak, just know it is in a village district at the border next to some suspicious country. You will want to scratch that last myth. Because Mpox is in 19 districts and Kampala is among with dozens of cases. Please stop going around checking anyone's hand. Mpox kills. Protect your loved ones.
Winning requires the stamina of a lion. But most importantly, it requires that you carry that water up to the top of the hill. However, you must use a spoon. Take the water now. Go, run, climb up the hill in 72 spoons. Faster, go, go. Winning is hard, but with MTN Momo, it's easy. Simply pay or shop with Momo for a chance to win mobile money every day. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. A warm welcome to those of you just joining us. On sign language, it is Senyomo Yusuf, and I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma. Now let's go back to that story which we had just introduced, but we faced a technical problem, and that is the 36th witness, Juliet Naiga, has testified in the case of Susan Magara murder. Naiga, a government translator, told court that she worked on translating and transcribing audio recordings related to the case. Take a watch.
The recordings included conversations between the accused persons, including how they planned and executed the kidnapping and murder of Susan Magara. The accused persons included Lubega Yusuf, Wasa Hussein, Salimu Zamiru, Chewolia Abubakar, Chisalita Mahad, Kato Hassan Mido, Bukenya Ismail, Buvumbo Musa Abbas, and Hajarana Kandi. Naigad's testimony also included details of how the accused persons sold land and bought cars using the ransom money. Before court, the witness played a translation and transcription recording of the accused persons discussing how they killed Susan Magara and disposed of her body. The defense lawyers objected to the evidence, arguing that it had not been properly examined.
Investigations are illegal. Court is here answering the question who participated in this offense. At the same time, the state attorneys and the investigators are continuing to investigate. Supposing the court came up with a judgment, what this year?
However, the judge overruled the objection, allowing the evidence to be considered for further examination and discussion.
I've agreed that the tendering in of the reports is not prejudicial to the accused persons, and therefore let the report be received in court and marked reports to be made in the matters, Exhibit 38 for the one of Safi Mosque, Exhibit 39 for the one of Katilesatron, Exhibit 40 for the one of Lani Wigwe, Exhibit 41 for the land in Luero, Exhibit 42 for the class agreement, and 43.
The case was adjourned to December 3rd, 2024 for further hearing. Susan Magara was kidnapped and murdered in 2018, and her body was found in Entebbe, Kitoko. Charity Marion Imnat and Viola Nansoboga for UBC News.
Now, the AIDS support organization TASO Sorority Center Programs Manager Charles Odoi has said that within only 1 year, they have lost over 240 out of 6,209 HIV/AIDS clients whom they have been serving in the Teso sub-region. This was during the donation of 100 buffalo bicycles worth 78 million shillings to community workers.
Over 240 out of 6,209 HIV and AIDS clients in Teso sub-region who have been getting treatment at the AIDS support organization TASO Sorority Center are not showing up for medication. Charles Odoi, the center programs manager TASO Sorority Center, made the revelation during the donation of bicycles worth 78 million Ugandan shillings to community workers who are expected to follow up on the lost clients in care.
A total of 6,209 clients who are active in our care, but apparently we have 240 clients who are lost in care. Now that's a big number, and that's the reason for this bicycle to be able to help us trace for those who are actually lost in care, because we don't know where they are. Probably they are taking care elsewhere, and so we need to trace them.
The program manager, World Bicycle Relief in Uganda, Gabriel Chilama, says they are addressing a major problem of mobility among the community workers.
At World Bicycle Relief, the major problem we are trying to address is actually mobility. So we believe when you have a bicycle, the frequency of you visiting the clients down will increase. If you are visiting 10, after getting the bicycle, if you are now visiting only 4, when you have the bicycle, then the bicycle has done a disservice. You understand? You might have now been using the bicycle for doing something different, maybe going to drain.
Samoki Ring, the Assistant Resident City Commissioner, Sorority City and bicycle beneficiaries welcomed the support of development partners.
The advantage of us receiving these bicycles, it is not only that on the health, it is empowering both education and health. Because when you look at our dropouts,
what we have been reading for, since the other reading, they went without giving us much stuff. So this one also, when they came, we presented the same problem. It's a miracle that it has become possible.
I'm happy because it isn't my transport,
of monitoring and doing other things. It has been a challenge because there was no transport.
Government spends over 800,000 shillings per annum to treat an HIV and AIDS patient.
Naufka Farida reporting there. Now, government has allocated 3 billion shillings to facelift Yoweri Health Centre 3 in Amuria district. At the ground-breaking ceremony at Yoweri Health Centre 3 in Amuria district, State Minister for Works and Transport Musa Echweru said it's the government's mandate to take health services closer to people.
In its mandate to deliver health care services countrywide, government has allocated shillings 3 billion towards reconstructing Yoweri Health Centre 3 in Amuria district. The construction project, funded by the government of Uganda through Uganda Government Infrastructure Finance Trust, will be carried out in 2 phases. In the first phase, a maternity ward, rehabilitation of the existing general ward, a 4-stance VIP latrine with showers, and the installation of a medical waste pit will be constructed. While in the second phase, a new theatre block, OPD and an incinerator will be done.
Officially for God and my country.
At the groundbreaking ceremony, State Minister for Works and Transport Musa Echweru said government will take health services closer to the people.
So the facilities must be made really commensurate to our ambitions. I want to thank the President Museveni, because this is all because of him. Construction of a 3 billion project in Yoweri Health Centre 3. I am very excited about it. Work has already started, and this construction is supposed to last just 6 months.
The health facility serves a catchment area of 13,000 people. The facility receives an average of 2,000 patients monthly. The clinic officer in charge of Yoweri Health Centre 3, Aaron Opolot, noted that they had limited space at the health facility.
Struggling with patients with limited space, and also where to work from. You also see many cases of accidents, and also make referrals to Soroti, Amuria, and all these other places. Getting these structures will help us to improve service delivery.
Our community here loves to self-medicate, which is very dangerous to their health. One of the results of self-medication is what we call drug resistance. When you self-medicate, you're creating drug resistance to you. In other words, the drugs that...
Amuria District Chairman Moses Emabu tipped contractors on quality work.
If you want to eat in Amuria, do good work. I don't know whether I've made it very well, but you understand what I'm saying. And that work will save you here.
At Uganda Development Bank, we are committed to empowering communities by supporting projects that unlock excellent economic benefits for Ugandans through job creation, tax contribution, output value, and foreign exchange. We seek partnerships with projects that drive economic development in Uganda.
Vocational education does more of equipping of different skills, ranging from hairdressing, tailoring, catering, and so on. So those are basically the courses that we do, and we do them in different levels. My relationship with UDB came through Yuga Privi. I'm registered with Private Institutions Association. So one time we invited for a meeting as proprietors of schools, and UDB sold in their idea of offering loans for some of us who are still developing. So Ray happened to be one of those that is not yet fully established. Of course, being a private institution, we didn't have enough structures. So I applied for a loan, and that is how our relationship started. And yeah, so I got the first installment, putting up the preliminaries and the substructure, and the structure is being worked on. I really want to thank UDB so much because their interest is pretty low, and I must say, mu UDB nafunamu. Thank you so much, UDB, for supporting vocational education.
Uganda Development Bank, inspiring development.
The Homes and Construction Expo is back. Are you looking for answers to your property and real estate development questions? Come and interact with experts in the industry, including architects, engineers, developers, interior designers, financiers, and more from 30th November to 1st December 2024. The expo will be at the Millennium Park, opposite Philip Omondi Stadium, under the theme Affordable Housing, Innovations and Technology. There will be captivating exhibitions and insightful discussions daily. Entrance is only 10,000 shillings per day. To book a stall, contact 0772 354 940. The Homes and Construction Expo is brought to you by New Vision.
The Ministry of Health informs the general public that there are some cases of Mpox detected in Uganda. The ministry, working with partners and affected district local governments, are doing their best to contain the situation. The signs and symptoms of Mpox are body rash, fever, general body weakness, headache, sore throat, nasal congestion or cough, and swollen lymph nodes. You can prevent yourself from getting infected with Mpox by avoiding close contact with people who have been confirmed to have Mpox or who have signs and symptoms of Mpox, avoiding touching or sharing personal items like beddings, eating utensils, phones, or other belongings of a person who has the signs and symptoms of Mpox. Avoiding contact, including eating with all wild animals, alive or dead, especially those known to carry the virus, such as rodents and monkeys, and those that appear sick or have been found dead. Getting vaccinated if you're among those who have been identified to be at high risk of Mpox infection. Mpox is treatable and usually goes away after 2 to 4 weeks. However, it can be severe, causing even death, especially among children, pregnant women, and those with other health conditions. For more information and support, contact your nearest health worker. Call the Ministry of Health's toll-free line on 0800 100 066 or send a free SMS to YouReport on 8500.
Winning requires the stamina of a lion. But most importantly, it requires that you carry that water up the top of the hill. However, you must use a spoon. Take the water now. Go, run, climb up the hill. 72 spoons. Faster, go, go. Winning is hard, but with MTN Momo, it's easy. Simply pay or shop with Momo for a chance to win mobile money every day. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Uncle Mo, asibi koja tukwasa. Vayo na wasajja batusonyiye. Chikakasi. Vayo.
Government has done it. Uganda Revenue Authority has taken you off the burden of paying interests and penalties. All you have to do is to pay your outstanding principal tax to benefit from the waiver of interests and penalties that runs till the end of December 2024. Call us on our toll-free line or email services@ura.go.ug.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. Let's have a look now at the latest in business. The government of Uganda has received 36 tour operators from Asin region who have jetted into the country for a familiarization tour and to benchmark with Uganda's tourism players. On behalf of Uganda High Commission to Malaysia, the delegates were received by Moses Kasuja Kalule at Entebbe International Airport.
We have a team of tour operators from Malaysia, from the Philippines, from Vietnam, from Thailand, and from Indonesia. The purpose of this farm tour is, first of all, we want them to see Uganda. We want them to appreciate what we have, because we want to have a long-term relationship with them so that they can market Uganda as a tourist destination. So we managed to get the top 5 per country so that they can come here and see for themselves. When they go back, and during our cooperation that we are trying to forge from today, they will be knowing what exactly to sell to their people. As a country, our target is we want them to promote Uganda as a tourist destination. The ASEAN region, which is made up of 10 countries, is still a virgin area. There are so many tourists, but it had not been tapped very well. So we decided to bring them down, like I've said, so that they can promote Uganda to their people. And we expect that the more these people come here, the more foreign exchange that we'll be having.
We are very excited to see the wildlife animals with tours cruise, and we expect to learn from here so that we may organize tours to bring tourists from Vietnam and neighbor countries to Uganda.
But here the most important is the gorilla, you know, because the gorilla have only in the few country in the Africa, so it's very interesting for the tourists.
Uganda is my first African country after South Africa and Egypt and Morocco. But I'm not be patient to enjoy the nature, scenery and other things.
School administrators have appealed to Njeru municipality over non-maintenance of roads, which they say hinders the transport system. They say it has hindered transporting of pupils from various points. They have now threatened not to remit taxes unless the municipality plays its role on infrastructure development.
In the same manner, we also demand that we should see the results of what we are paying. Please, we are begging you to do that. Because it is so painful that we get these property tax rates where you charge us even for the office as if you want us to sit outside. You ask even for the canteen, that we have the canteen, there's a fee on it. And now all we are asking is, what are you giving us in return? We are going to use that money and try to improve that place. And when we do, please don't come and harass us asking for the proper rates. That is a notice to the council.
We need help. Our pride, where Shiro is situated, it is terrible. We end up spending a lot of money to maintain those vehicles. And you know, when you spend a lot, we don't have anywhere to run to. We are always running to parents.
The directors actually brought in an attention of them retaining the money, especially the taxes, so that they can do the roads themselves. But we found this, of course, that's not how government works. We realize there's a lot of challenge, not only in this municipality, but even the neighboring districts where they fetch their children to come to school. But especially in Njeru, our road network has been still poor, because lacking road equipment and so on. So my appeal to the director of the school that under private-public partnership, the division is going to come in handy with a grader and fuel, and we see how we can work on it. And especially when you look at this road that brings children to school, in our council we had passed a resolution that the roads that lead us to institutions like churches, schools, that we should give it more attention. But at the moment we have been having a lot of challenges in the municipality because we don't have the road equipment and so on. We rely so much on the district, whereby when government releases funds, we all fight for the same equipment. So I've given him my humble pledge as the chairman of the division and my council that we are going to help up the school to upgrade that road under public-private pattern. We are going to give them a grader and fuel, and at the same time they'll also put madam on the road.
So can we say...
Sports news now, and the Guinness Match Day extravaganza has lit up Mbarara and Gulu, with more fans winning trips to watch the English Premier League live in the United Kingdom. Here is our sports reporter John Van Sentamo with more.
The Guinness Match Day campaign is creating unforgettable moments for football fans across Uganda, with the revelers in Mbarara and Gulu the latest to witness the experience.
Fantastic party. Let me see.
At those two venues, Guinness has handed out 2 more tickets for an all-expenses-paid trip to watch the English Premier League live, which is a dream come true for any football enthusiast.
We promised that there would be a winner to go and watch the English Premier League live in England, and we've delivered on it. So congratulations to Esther, wherever she is. We're really glad that we got a winner here. The team in Kampala already rewarded the winner, and the same experience that we promised to the team, to the people of Mbarara, we have also delivered on our mandate.
Kasozi emphasized that these experiences are made possible through Guinness's partnership with the English Premier League, which has brought fans closer to the action more than ever before.
3, 2, 1. 0! That's the number! Oh wow! 0741.
At Shooters Bar in Mbarara, the lucky winner was Esther Nakala. Interestingly, Esther wasn't present when the announcement was made, but upon receiving the good news call, she rushed to the venue where she was met with cheers and congratulations.
Welcome the Savior, welcome the
At D Plus Bar in Gulu, the lucky winner was David Muzare, who alongside Esther Nakala joined Kampala winners Jonan Kato and Difa Skansime on the exciting trip to the UK. They will witness the iconic London derby between Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspurs on January 14th, 2025. The Guinness Matchday campaign continues to redefine how fans experience football, creating unforgettable moments and bringing live match viewing closer to home.
It's really up to you to thank these people, but to tell them this campaign is not done.
Now, the Corporate Sports Network, which was founded just this year, has completed a splendid first season during which it organized Uganda's corporate bodies into top-notch sports competition. Take a watch.
All is well that ends well is an age-old adage that sits well for the Corporate Sports Network that has completed its first season during which it organized corporate bodies into sports competition.
This is the last outing. As you can see, everyone is happy and very contented of what has happened. I would like to thank all the teams, the team managers, the various companies, and you, the stakeholders who have helped us benefit and come to the end of the season. As you can see, this is our last outing. It's full house like it has always been. Next season, we plan to have more teams because we already have new teams on the board who have already applied and have paid subscription for next season.
During this time, there have been 9 outings, most of which have been at the Maroons Prisons ground in Luzira, where more than 250 football games have been played.
This is our last outing of season 2024. We need to end all these games today. We are not carrying forward any games.
The corporates also engaged in woodball, pool, swimming, tug of war, basketball, netball, sack race, three-legged race and volleyball, all of which contributed to points that determines who will win the overall prize. There were also points from other areas like organization and discipline at this corporate sports network organized season, during which participants earned more than the sports they partook.
I would like to appreciate the management of Corporate Sports Network for bringing this opportunity for different teams to come together and collaborate and be able to network and have entertainment. Most importantly, it
has been a good session. It has been a good campaign. It's Tropical Bank. We would love to thank everyone who has been around to support this campaign. As you all know, Tropical Bank, we have been a strong team throughout the whole campaign. As you all know, we are champions.
The final outing that was sponsored by Diamond Trust Bank has been at Maroons Prisons Ground in Luzira. It witnessed football that ended with Tropical Bank as champions and tug of war that climaxed with the Centenary Bank beating all others, with a Stanbic Park in second and DTB in third.
Sport is a big initiative at the bank. We are big on wellness for our staff, and whatever opportunity we get to give them a chance to exercise, to engage with others, is something we always take up. So we're always glad to partner with anyone who wants to work with us around wellness of our staff and the bigger community. And in the long run, it's also part of our sustainability agenda. We try to make sure everyone is able to engage with the community, and sport is one big area that we really focus on as a bank.
What follows is the Mega Awards dinner due on 7th December at Silver Springs Hotel Bugolobi, where excellence, topped by the overall crown, will be rewarded to most of the 40-plus companies.
And we've almost come to the end of this bulletin, but before we leave you, let's have a quick reminder of our top stories. In our news headlines tonight, President Yoweri Museveni orders compensation of Lieutenant General Aronda's widow. Environment and Natural Resources Committee of Parliament assesses operations of plastic recycling plants in Kampala. 13 arrested, charged and remanded over embezzlement of PDM funds. And in sports, more fans win trips to watch the English Premier League live in the Guinness Matchday Extravaganza. And that's all we had time for. Thank you so much for having kept us company. On sign language, it has been Senyamo Yusuf, and I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma, wishing you a blessed night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Super Soul Sisters ground-based inspiring story grand finale is here. With our theme of Vision for the Future, come and be part of this amazing yet inspiring pageant as we focus on the girls' life journey through storytelling to change people's lives. This December, Saturday the 14th,